Oh, GURL, a regular read of the latest LGBT plus trends, TV, and the ever-expanding world of drag. Hello, my dears, I hope you didn't miss us. What is this? A new episode? The first episode of GURL Season 4? How amazing. I hope you're as excited as we are. Well, since it's a new season, we've got something extra special to start us off, but we'll get to that in a moment. For now, I'm going to introduce my wonderful co-hosts. Are you there, Thotter Stu?
I'm always here. I have been from the beginning.
You haven't left. We just put you in a cupboard until we needed you again.
Pretty much back in the closet. Sounds about right.
There's no getting you back in the closet, Stu. I saw you at DragCon.
I wouldn't have fit.
Moving on. Jim Bunny Glenn, how are you doing?
Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I am here. I am queer. I am ready to roll.
Are you excited? Because Season 4 will be your first full season on GURL, won't it?
I am so excited for my first full season. The real Season 2 is going to get going.
There's been a fight renaming the group where it keeps changing to the real Season 1. And we're like, no, it's Season 4.
I just think if Michelle Visage got away with it, I can too.
Well, time to move on to that something special I mentioned earlier. Now, you may know them as the wonderful baddies, dare I say, from recent TV sensation The Traitors. Well, we've got them here for you today. It's Amanda Lovett and Kieran Tompsett. How are you doing, Amanda?
Absolutely fine.
Just fine? Just fine?
Oh, I'm doing really well. Life is really good at the moment, yes. Yeah, enjoying it.
Yeah, and Kieran, how do you feel?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on. I've been giving lots of parting gifts since Christmas, so it's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to having a chat.
No, it's wonderful. The TV show has been an absolute sensation. It's one of those ones where everyone's talking about it.
But I say, Kieran was at a very nervous Christmas at your house when you're giving out presents now.
Oh God, yeah. To say the least, yeah. It didn't. It was the topic of conversation at every present that was opened. So yeah, a good one.
Party gift.
Set yourself up for life now, haven't you? It's always going to get brought up at Christmas.
No, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Now, we met you at DragCon, didn't we, Stu?
Yeah, we did, which was... It feels wild, but it was more than a few days ago now. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
I still haven't recovered, actually. I still haven't... You know, we're recording this not too long after DragCon, and I'm still in that kind of... How many weeks ago was it? Was it really only 2 weeks ago? Okay, fair call.
Yeah.
It was
It was a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
When you're speaking, I feel like I'm on Bridgerton or something. You're sounding very posh. I feel like I'm on a series of Bridgerton.
They've got more hair on Bridgerton.
Yeah, you're much posher up there than in Wales.
Well, that was the crazy thing at DragCon, because obviously I think when we met you, we're getting into this, I've just jumped ahead, but when we met you at DragCon, I had no voice, so I couldn't like speak to you at all, and it's like my defining feature usually, so I was like going, what am I doing here? I'm just a man in a dress.
Well, you look good anyway.
Oh,
didn't need your voice.
So, obviously, we both met you at DragCon. You were at the Tuck Shop stall, I believe. How did you both find it?
Yeah, I probably had one of the best days ever, to be honest with you. I went on the Saturday. I enjoyed myself was an understatement. I absolutely love it. I actually took my brother on day 2 because he was jealous that I didn't tell him that I was going. So I had to come a little bit later and go all the way to pick up my brother and bring him on day 2. I had the best day. I think me and Amanda both agree. Like the love that was shown towards us, the atmosphere, just everything about the day was just like we said we'd be back 100%. Yeah. Try and have a social event this time where we can actually go around and speak to a lot of people a lot more and take in and probably stay overnight and have a few drinks with the Queens as well. So that's going to be our plan of attack for next year. But yeah, I think we both said I had the best day ever.
Definitely. If we're not invited back, we will definitely be going anyway.
Because
we're just going to gate crash because it the only way I can describe it, I've never been in an environment with so much love where everyone could just be themselves. Everyone was happy because obviously when you can be yourself and express yourself, you're happy and and it was honestly like a bubble of love. That's the only way I can put it. And the feeling, wasn't it, Kieran, was the atmosphere there is just immense. So yeah, we're gate crashing next year if we're not invited.
Us too.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Kieran, who was your favourite drag queen to meet?
To be fair, they're all so different, aren't they, in their own sort of ways? I've had quite a few. So I had a good laugh with Why She Black that was on the stand with me, and Ophelia Love. I think those are two to see, because we were secretly drinking vodka underneath the table, but we didn't know. So, and then my favourites is Copper Top. Just drag brunch on Sunday. My little girl was ill, so I couldn't make it, and I told her I was coming up, so I'm gutted I missed it, but I'm planning on going back next month. Kitty Scott, I like quite a few. They're all very different in very different ways, but what I picked up from a lot of the times Amanda was saying, like, it's my sense of humour. Like the banter that we had was absolute. I couldn't repeat some of it, but yeah, it was.
There's a real variety, like, you know, especially in drag, because obviously I was talking to someone about this the other day, that there's no rules for drag, essentially. It's the idea, so, you know, you can have like this wonderful child-friendly kind of humour and child-friendly looks, and then you just get these extreme, like, wow, okay, this isn't PG at all kind of thing. But I mean, I want to point out the fact that I think you are the two first heterosexual guests we've had on the podcast, being an LGBT plus podcast, and I think that's kind of exciting for like season 4. But what was it like being in that kind of environment, like from that standpoint?
No different for me. 3 of my cousins are gay. My brother's gay. I've got multiple gay friends, so for me, it was like, it felt like I was at home, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it. That's why I picked up my brother on day 2, and literally we are itching to get back next year. I loved it. I'm going to be going to a lot of shows this year. I can't believe I haven't been before, to be honest with you. So me and Amanda, like I said a moment ago, we are there. The atmosphere was just electric, and we was at work a little bit. Like, I can't wait to actually go and take in everything and go around and mingle a bit more and actually watch like where they do the walk on the Friday, because that looked amazing. And I hear there's a VIP party on the Saturday night. They throw people out and then let other people in. So yeah, we're coming back full force.
Yeah, we're going to the party. We're in the party. Right. Yeah, for me, it's been a total transformation of my life, hasn't it? You know, and I didn't know what to expect, but oh my God, I have found a family, and I'm not moving out of it. That's the way I feel. It's just, I have so much fun. Yeah, and the both of us, you know, we're just proud to be part of the LGBT community. You know, I never ever thought I would be, because I didn't think I had any reason to be. But oh wow, I mean, it's just beautiful, isn't it? The love is just beautiful. That's all I can say.
The kindest I've had has been from the community on Instagram. Some of the first people to message me, and just so much love and support, and not judging, and obviously what we're all meant to do. So yeah, Ginny
Lemon actually messaged me just after the Traitors was aired and said to me, you're going to be a superstar, I really like you. And I was like, oh my God, I've had a message after. And, you know, I absolutely love her. We're so good friends and things, you know. It's just to have that support, you know. I'm not saying you wouldn't get it in the heterosexual community, but it's different. I just feel it's different. Yeah, there's so much support. There's no jealousy. There's no animosity. Everybody just loves and supports each other, and that's how the world should be, shouldn't it? You know?
Yeah, and I think it's wonderful, and we can always do with more allies.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. You know, I'm loved more by the gay community than I am with my family. I don't think my family love me anymore. The love I'm feeling now, I thought they loved me, but obviously it's nothing like I felt so far. So my family can get on the bus. They can go with wealth.
So, Amanda, you've been actually working a lot of the club scenes as well, I've noticed on Instagram. Have there been any drag queens either on the club scenes or even at DragCon that you've really loved meeting, or anybody that you were dying to meet and you've got to meet?
Oh, I've loved meeting them all. Like Kieran said, they're all so different. Tace is obviously Welsh, so, you know, she's got to be my ally, isn't she? You know, but I love Ginny Lemon. I love them all because, as you said, there is no format, is there? There's no structure. I suppose when us ladies go out as heterosexual, and I see it more mind with my daughter's age, who's 30, and the twins coming up now 17, everybody's cloned. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to feel, they've got to look a certain way, and they've got to act a certain way, that their figure's got to be a certain way where, you know, with the drag queens, drag ladies, you can be absolutely yourself and embrace every little curve, every little wrinkle. If you want red hair, if you want purple hair, you could be yourself, can you? And be passionate about it. And that's what I love.
Obviously, we've talked a lot so far about DragCon, but that's not what we're here for. You guys were on the Traitors. And I imagine a lot of people are going to want to... on there for at least 5 minutes. So obviously it was a massive hit, wasn't it? You know, people have fallen in love with it, and off the back of it, fallen in love with you guys. But what has been sort of the biggest changes since then? Like, has it had such a big impact? You know, it's only been a few weeks since everyone became obsessed with it. How have your lives changed since?
I think, I'll tell you what's a big turning point, and I think when me and Amanda done it on New Year's Day, we've done like a parade round. They asked us to go on a open top bus around London, and the show had only just finished like a week before New Year's Day it was. And I remember staring at me and Amanda going around London, and people were screaming Amanda's name from the crowd. As soon as they made eye contact with us, you know, when someone, like I would see someone famous now, and I'd be like, oh my God, it's such and such. We could see that in their eyes looking at us, and it's the most surreal experience to sort of, it's been overnight fame, like people shouting out to me, if you could see when they clocked Amanda, and then look, it was, that's the thing, that's when the turning point for me, because I would class it as literally overnight fame for me. Literally one day we were just normal, and then it just went through the roof. And that was, I think for me, that was we get stopped. I mean, Amanda, you went to Italy and you were getting photos with people working in your eyes out there as well.
Yeah, you know, in the airport, and then the crew going out noticed me, and then when I got to Rome, then we're in a restaurant and people noticed me there. And I suppose, Kieran, we're very proud to be part of, you know, such great TV. But for us, we didn't realise it would blow up like this, you know, so...
And also, jumping back to DragCon for 1 minute, all the crew coming over and asking for photos with us. They were like queue jumping and actually wanting photos with us, which is like unbelievable as well. So, yeah, I mean, just on so many different spectrums, I think, similar to how we all talk freely now, I think it touched so many people in so many different ways. Some people that don't even watch reality. So many people said to me, I don't watch reality TV, Kieran, but I've loved it. Or people have gone into work the next day and done word of mouth and went, oh my God, you need to watch the Traitors. I think that's what's made it really go mental, if I'm honest with you. I think people go word of mouth, everyone's gone, you've got to, because we all do that.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, that's a nice restaurant to go out, you'd take your friends' recommendations, sort of thing, and it's just gone mental. So
yeah, it's real people with real emotions.
Yeah,
you know, that was not scripted. All of our emotions were absolutely real coming out, and all the friendships we made, and you know, I'm watching it back now. Have you watched it again?
Starting in my way, because I can actually do the same thing. I can actually probably watch it now and not have absolute horrific anxiety and nightmares again. So.
Well, and we've started watching it because you sort of, when it was first aired, you're looking at, you know, how you are really and how you're coming over rather than looking at it as a TV thing. And I'm looking at it now and I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is brilliant TV. I can't believe we all were. You know, it's like fantastic TV, and the way it's been edited, so...
I think we said it a couple of weeks ago, me and Amanda. I think what worked is, for once, everything worked, from the cast to Claudia to Castle to the game to the music. Everything sort of just came together, and I think particularly the cast, because we're not like your body perfect Love Island Instagram, what we're literally a consultant, an estate agent, do you know what I mean, someone that works in a care home, like we're just, people can relate a little bit to more, I would say we're normal, I'll say normalish.
Yeah, normalish. We wouldn't be normal if we went in there, would we? So, we can't be normal to have applied for a TV show with deceit and lying, and but there you are.
I mean, I'm thinking about applying for the next season, so I must be one of you.
Oh, it's a fantastic experience, isn't it, Kieran? It's fantastic, but it is. And when people have spoken to me about it, I have said it is intense. It is intense, and you have to be strong. You have to think of it as a game, because you know you do form alliances in there because your outside world is taken away from you, and you have to keep reiterating to yourself, it's a game, because otherwise, you know, you can feel the emotions of hurt and everything. And so, yeah, but if you're going to do it, go for it, because it's, you know, it's worth just going to be in the castle, isn't it, and having free breakfast, because it's fab.
I love that, specifically breakfast.
Yeah, free breakfast. I love a free breakfast.
Yeah, you're fed well. That's one of the good things.
Yeah.
Basically, you're fed really well.
One thing I wanted to ask, though, is did you have like any sort of prodding from the producers and stuff? Because obviously we hear it in a lot of stuff where the producers are like, oh, could you just mention this, or maybe if you could do this kind of thing.
No, absolutely. And we're not just saying it, nothing. It was real answers, real emotions, and they've taken that and edited. Nothing was scripted, was it, Kieran?
No, I'd say quite the opposite, to be fair, guys. Like when you probably wanted to talk to someone, like when it was sitting in a scene with me and Hannah at the end, when I go into a room and she says, oh, I've got to do my nails, and leaves me in the room on my own. I was actually in there for about 10 minutes just staring at the cameras with about 5 cameras and not even saying anything to me, just like she's just staring there in absolute distraught. They don't script you or prompt you. Basically, you are just left to the game. And that's what I think makes it so just emotionally draining and exciting. You have every single emotion. No, you do not get any help at any given time or any prompt in any way, shape or form. And obviously that's cut between an hour show. Half of the stuff, you only see it. I mean, even if we had 3 minutes each, it would fill up the hour in no time. So there's so much stuff that left. They could probably make a show quite easily from the stuff that's been cut out of it as well. So easily. Which would have some humour in it, if I'm honest with you. There was some funny times, but that never got...
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't make for the drama, though, does it?
No, drama and tears. So every single bit was cut out,
Yeah.
I think that's what made it such a good show, though, obviously. With it being so raw and unscripted, it means, you know, you've got this bunch of, as you say, pretty much everyday people that come from all different backgrounds, just trying to compete and win this game. And instead of something like Love Island, which is overproduced and it's very specific, it means that people can relate to it and enjoy it.
And I think as the original cast, we had no idea what we were going into. So if you were chosen as a faithful, how would you really be a faithful? If you're chosen as a traitor, how would you be? Like, people going into series 2 now are going to have some idea how to play the game a little bit. We were just, just went with it.
Just wing it.
I think it'll bring out a different type of contestant as well that will certainly apply for it, whether they get on the show or not. But I think there'd be people that will go to extremes than you saw in this show, probably, guys. I'll be honest with you, people would go because they sort of will have a game and look at more of a game. We were like, what they didn't count on is us actually being liking the people who are in there and having really morally torn about doing certain things. And that's what makes the show so good, because you can see us battling with decisions and trying to get it right. And there's no formula for this. There's no trick. There's no skill set. It literally is just a miracle that you survive day by day, basically.
Yeah, you do live day by day, don't you? Hour by hour.
Especially with some of the plot twists in there as well. That actually it pretty much leads on to my next question. Obviously, Amanda, you started off as a traitor and you were a traitor all the way through. You got unfortunately cut a little bit too early due to a few little stunts that were played there. Obviously, you were replaced as a traitor. We got to see Kieran as a traitor. If you could have chosen anyone else, though, to replace you, who would have been your top choice for that one?
What, if I was Wilf choosing another traitor?
Yeah, so if you got to choose who was going to replace you.
I think, it would have either been Kieran or Hannah. I knew when I left, I didn't know the ending. I didn't know the ending until 2 weeks before it screened. But I knew, I had a gut feeling that Wilf would have chosen Kieran to be a traitor. But I thought the two of them went ahead and won it until I met everyone before the screening. And then I found out. And then I was a bit like, yes. But obviously it would have been Kieran or Hannah would have been the two strongest contestants in there to be another traitor.
We actually spoke about this at the casting. I said, it's all right for us to look back now and stuff like that, but I categorically would think would have been as a team I think that's a mistake. If you fall out, if you can get someone in that's similar to you, if I'd have been the opportunity to do it with Amanda, I think the understanding where we are in life and stuff like that, it would have been, and I'll pretty much guarantee we would have sailed through to win that. If people say it's an advantage, there's no advantage on either side. It literally is one slight move of events. You like the butterfly effect in the castle. We had a chat about it, funny enough, and we were like, we did. It would have just been so. It would have been so fun. I actually would have enjoyed them last few episodes. I think we could have made such a spin on it and enjoyed it, rather than Amanda being dead and me turning into a serial killer at the end. And then it would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah, I think, you have to have an alliance, whatever team you're in. So if you're in the Traitors, you have to be, you have to be loyal to your fellow Traitors. And if you're in the Faithfuls, you have to, which was the most difficult thing for Kieran, because obviously he came in as a Faithful, and that must have been so hard, because you do get really passionately loyal, well, you're supposed to do, to your team. Yeah. So Kieran's loyalty was with the Faithfuls. So then to have no choice really other than to flip into a traitor, and then that happened. That must have been so difficult for him. I was sort of hurt. I know it's a game, but I thought, I thought as Traitors had alliances like you did with the Faithfuls. So then you had to go from the Faithfuls into the Traitors, and then that trust was broken again, So yeah.
And also, everyone has a complete and utter unique journey in there. No one is aligned in any way. For me and my mental health and trying to cope with where I was on that day, and from the first 8 minutes in getting thrown out, then me having to hide in lockdown for X amount of days, not knowing what's going in, then dumped back in the castle. Like it was a lot for me to deal with mentally, and then doing quite well, and then tuning in the 11th hour, having that turn, knowing full well what the outcome was going to be, because I didn't have the numbers to sway it. I think it's quite a blow, and it's quite a lot. Like that last night after Will gave me the ultimatum, I literally probably slept about 45 minutes to an hour. I laid in bed, but I didn't sleep because I got laid back from the scene with me and Will, and the next day when I come down, my mind just could not shut off. It was haunting. It was like so many things, and it kept me awake at night. I just kept going through all the twists and turns. You can't shut off in there. Remember, you've got no distraction.
You can't. You're in your room, and
all you think about the game.
Yeah, you can't talk to anyone. I mean, a well-fed team is fantastic, and everybody's on call. But when it's like when you have a bad day in work, isn't it? You come home and you've got someone to speak to, or you pick up the phone to your friend, or, you can just have a chat and sort of assess everything that's going on in your mind. You've got no one. So your mind's going, right, shall I do this? Shall I do that? Shall I do this? Shall I do that? And it's really difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think with the Traitors, as you say, I think you might see a very different game setting next series, because it's obviously a global, like Germany have done it, Spain have done it, France have done it, Australia have done it, it's all over Europe. I think the one thing you will key is if you are a formidable force as a traitor, I think you can easily. So, and I think Amanda, I don't know if you've watched some of the Australian one or something, but Amanda, you can play that role with absolute class and come out loved, absolutely loved. If you remain true to who you are and have a gameplay and do it with class and dignity, and Amanda is the OG of this, where you will be loved. Win, lose or draw, you're going to be loved either way. But at the end, you're laughing.
Yeah, and you've got to, it's a game, isn't it? Yeah. But I will say to anyone that's going in, you have to have an alliance with your team. It's teams, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Man City are playing Everton, Man City, one of the players doesn't go onto the Everton side halfway through, do they? And say, sorry, and I don't know where I am here. You've got to you've got to stick
it would mix it up nicely, I think, if they started doing that just in the middle of the game.
Not that I know anything about football, mine. I don't know where they are, but, I know they're two big teams.
I think if you do work a team, man, say like, when the radar is on you or the shine is on you, you have the skill set as a team to deflect that. You see how one turn on that round table can change the whole way.
Massively.
And if a teamwork, two minds are better than one, and you will be able to pull off, you will be able to buy yourself another day. So there is sort of patterns where I think a lot of people can actually learn working as a team will do you a good setting in it. round two.
Absolutely.
So, Kieran, if you were never selected to flip and become a traitor, would you have ever sussed Will out? Was there anything?
Yeah, so I've actually explained this a couple of times, and there's levels to this game. When I come back and we're not allowed to vote, me and Amos, one of them said that me and Amos might be a traitor because they were paranoid both of us coming in, but they wouldn't add to a successful traitor team. Episode 6 is where I go for Will, and Alyssa and Will up for the same chop. I think there's one vote between them, and obviously that goes round to Amanda, and that gets Alyssa out. So very quickly, I'd learned from previous before, if you are vocal, if you are open about the traitors, and another classic example is when episode 10, when Amanda started picking up vibes from me, and I started picking up vibes from Amanda. She went and done the interview and said, I'm concerned about Kieran, I'm concerned about Hannah, them two have got to go. So you know when things are homing in on you. If you keep a traitor on your side and keep them tuned in. Episode 8, I think, when me and Will were at breakfast, and I'm saying I think it's Amanda, and I went, it's so hard, so many people could play the role, and I look at Will for the camera's purposes. I went, many people could play the role in here. So there's very hidden little subtle hints. It was friends close, traitors closer, basically. So if you surround yourself with a traitor, they have to surround themselves with a circle of trust where people won't vote for them, and they are sort of protected to get through the game. If you are open, you are dead. If you are too quiet, you're dead. There's a very middle ground here. So I had my suspicions very early on that Will was a traitor, but keeping him on side didn't do me any harm at all, because that's one trick I will share is have alliances on both teams, and you might just survive.
You might get survived, yeah.
Yes, I mean, you got to the end, so it was just about there. It was that last little hurdle, wasn't it? So, speaking of getting to the end, obviously, Amanda, you were a few episodes before that. Was there any of the challenges that you missed out on that you would have really liked to take part in?
No.
That sudden shake of the head there.
No, I know. I was over that rope bridge. It's not a thing I really want to do, hanging off a rope bridge and jumping out the helicopter. No, I'm not very, I'm more on the ground. A little roller coaster ride. I don't know if anyone's ever been to Oakwood. It's down in Wales. So there's a little ride there called the Woodland Trial. So it's like a little mini roller coaster that all the kids go on. Yeah. And it goes through trees. I like that. And that's me done.
It's a bit of a leap. Well, that's literally true. A leap from that and jumping out of a helicopter.
Get my, confidence up to go on there, and then I go on there and up and down, and that's it. Yeah. So no. It was fabulous to see everyone doing it, but it's not really for me.
For me, when I come in, so I look at it, they cut it out actually, because when I got thrown out in the first 10 minutes, when they brought me back, so Claudia killed me in 8 minutes, and she brings me back, and my first mission, she buries me alive. So I'm starting to impression that Claudia don't like me much. Do you know? What's hanging? Do you know what I mean? So it was like, the missions were quite interesting, to say the least.
That I will say, that mission, mine, when we buried people alive, right? Because you're going on to this TV reality show and we're normal people, and I did think, okay, they're not going to be that bad, When we actually see graves, I was telling Aaron, there's graves, there's real graves.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect it. You think, it'll just be joking, or a little bit of earth. The earth must have been over a foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They really were buried down there, weren't
they? Went full pelt on that, yeah. There was no corners cut on the burying alive. They put oxygen in there for us, thank God. But apart from that, we were in.
Yeah, they were in there, and it's that's scary, isn't it? I know the people out there, but I suppose that's what makes the show as well. It's like the barrels. When we had to do the barrels, I thought, we're going to roll this barrel down the hill now, and I can see the river, and they're going to fetch it to the other side, and we're just going to have to push a little bit and look really sweaty, and then we're going to go. But it wasn't like that. No, we had to push all the bloody way.
In the coffins,
as you can see, my anger in the end.
In the coffins, they'd left them. Obviously, they'd been prepared for a good week or something before we got out. So when we lifted it up, there was genuine cobwebs and like creatures in there. When I got out, I had like a tuft of spider web stuck to my head. I had a spider in my hair. Like it was brutal. There weren't no way to clean it out for them. It was like they were just holes, and we would just have to get them in.
Yeah, mad.
So, Kieran, you are very, very well known for the parting gift.
Yeah.
But what would you say would be the greatest gift that you've taken from the experience?
Oh, very, very easy for me. I'm sitting here talking with Amanda. I've made some friends for life that I'm very, very fond of. Show aside, we share a great, unique, one-off experience, and I'll always cherish that. But what you could take away is the friends I've got. Like, I've met up multiple times with a lot of people. It's such a unique. You know, when you meet someone and you share an experience that only you two or a few of you know, and it bonds you in a very peculiar way, if I'm honest with you. But mine will be, having some friends I'm very, very fond of and I love to call friends.
I suppose it's like friends you make through like a traumatic experience. You're kind of bonded by this.
It's like the psychiatric ward going out for a night.
How about you, Amanda?
What about, yes, exactly the same, to be honest. I think I've grown as a person because I went in it because obviously, you know, married at 19, you know, 5 children, working mum, you know, I can never remember having that time, just me, without the phone or without anything. So I went in there and I thought, oh, what will that feel like, you know, like when I was 16, just sitting in my bedroom by myself, you know? So that was lovely to sort of find me again and channel me a bit. But yeah, the friends, honestly, I think it's just brought something out in me that I didn't know was there, sort of to look at life in a different way, more open again.
This is taking it to bring it out in you, I'd say. So
yeah, I'm making friends, you know. I phoned Kieran tonight, we had a chat, didn't we? And you know, Maddie's on the phone, Aaron gives me you know, there's a few people that I have made friends for life, and I know I could phone them up and say, oh, I'm coming up, I'm going to stay with you, vice versa. And you know, that doesn't happen a lot in life, does it, you know?
And our families change as well. When Amanda's with her 2 girls and noticing people noticing their mum and then them noticing it, looking in their eyes and watching, like, that's just my mum. But people are like, oh my God, it's a man. Like, it's affected the family as well in such a positive way where it's just amazing. It's just seeing things that,
they're
like,
very proud of us, aren't they?
Yeah, a month ago, things were very, very different.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're looking at their mum and they're calling out, screaming out her name. And my little boy was going, why are people shouting at parting gift, Daddy? I'll explain it when you're a bit older, darling.
Oh, that's amazing.
GURL. So obviously we've had a lot of chats about the Traitors. We've had a little bit of a chat about DragCon. Had some serious questions, some not so serious questions. Now it's time for a bit of fun. What we do as a tradition on the GURL podcast is we have a little bit of a game. You guys are going to be the test bunnies for a new version of the game.
Ooh.
Usually we have one guest, and that one guest goes up against a host. But this time we've got
a host. It's Glenn. They go up against Glenn.
Yeah, it goes up against Glenn.
Once in a blue moon, one of us steps up to the plate, but it's usually Glenn.
It is usually Glenn. This time though, because we've got both of you, it's a head-to-head. So.
Oh my God, Kieran's much more intelligent than me, mind. Have you got to be intelligent for this?
No.
No.
You've got to be able to use Google.
What you will be in line to win is a customised Peter badge. So we have a lovely badge that Velvet makes. If you win, you get a lovely golden edition. If you are the runner-up, you will get a lovely silver edition. So you do win something either way.
We might win something.
That's it. You can redeem yourself.
You guarantee something.
You haven't got Wilf behind that door now, have you? Because if you are...
That's the surprise.
Ta-da!
No, I promise there is no traitor amidst this.
Perfect.
So what we're doing is we've got a little villain theme going on, because even though obviously you guys weren't villains at all, traitors can often be considered villains. So what I'm going to do is, in turn, I will give each of you a question. What I'm going to do is give you a movie or a TV show, and you've got to give me the villain from the TV show.
Oh, I love
So it's not really intelligence, it's more just pop culture.
Okay.
So we'll start with Amanda. If I say to you 101 Dalmatians, who's the villain?
Cruella de Vil.
Right. Easy. See, they're not too bad. Kieran. Snow White.
Snow White.
Amanda knows. You can see it in her eyes.
Specific name? I don't think it's a specific name.
Is there multiple names for this one? So
No.
There's one man.
It's not the dwarves.
Technically,
There's probably a version out there where they are the villains.
Snow White. Don't know.
it was just the evil witch. pretty generic.
The evil witch.
May have an official name in the fairy tales, but
Right.
I got really stuck with that. Like, that's the same as Snow White and Cinderella and stuff. I'm just like, wait a minute, is it the evil stepmother, or is it the witch, or is it the...
yeah, with the little, she basically looked like a traitor with the little hood
Yeah.
feeding at the apple.
It's the evil queen because she's also married to her dad, who's the king, I think.
Oh.
There we go.
How
The
we gays and
more
don't
you
know
Thanks,
this?
Google.
Did you know that was
I know.
I knew she had a black cloak and there's something to do with an apple, but
Oh, well, I mean, we tried.
unless that's the adult version, I don't know.
That's cool.
All of us failed
Close
that one.
All of it. Yeah, no points for anyone. Okay, Amanda, what about the Little Mermaid?
Oh, it's the big octopus. What's her name? She's big octopus, isn't she? Oh, and she wears the crown. Can I have that? Because she is a big octopus.
No, we can't.
I need a name. I need a name.
Don't you dare give her that.
That's it.
I need
She's
to
in the
level up.
lead. We give her half a point usually, but I'm like, no, you're in the lead so far.
Yeah, good move.
I've forgotten her name.
Oh, her name is Ursula.
Oh,
Terrible name,
I
right?
love it, Ursula, but based upon a drag queen called Divine, which I think is
Oh,
wonderful bit
Divine.
of history.
So, Kieran, what about He-Man?
Skeletor.
Yeah.
That's one for
There we go.
me.
We've got it.
You boob!
Head.
What a power of great goal.
You don't get an extra point for that, but I'll take it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Okay, Amanda, what about Harry Potter, main villain?
Oh, I've never watched a Harry Potter film.
You have several children.
I have 5. That's why I've never watched a Harry Potter film, because I'm always cooking when they're watching TV.
To be fair, it's probably you put them in front of the Harry Potter movie and then go and have some time to yourself. So
Or clean, or wash, or iron. Can I
Okay.
have, like, I don't know. All right, that's nil. I'm very competitive. I'm gonna get the kids.
Okay.
I mean, it's 1-1 at the moment. The correct answer would either be Voldemort or J.K. Rowling, given what she's been like since she wrote the book.
Okay, well.
Would have accepted either. Okay, Kieran, a little bit of a switch up here then, Kieran. We've been a bit Disney so far. What about Nightmare on Elm Street? Who's the villain?
Freddy Krueger.
That's easy.
Know it, Amanda.
Everything's easy if you know the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Amanda, what about the Lion King?
Yes, Scar.
Hey, my favourite
Cool.
Disney villain.
Good, pretty good Disney villain. Kieran, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. Is that there's not it's not that's a hard one. Sherlock Holmes. Is there one main or is there multiple for this? 'Cause
There's
it's-
big.
He
Basically,
was
Sherlock Holmes has a nemesis, but he's only actually in about 2 stories, I think.
I know the scene. I remember seeing it.
the main one in the BBC TV series with Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'm not gonna. The name's not gonna come to me in time. I'm done.
It's Moriarty.
Wow, it's 4 questions in and we're drawn. 2 points.
Drawing. Might we need the tiebreaker for once? Let's find out. So, Amanda, last question. Halloween. Who's the main villain?
Halloween. What? Who's the what? Sorry.
Who's the main villain in Halloween?
The John Carpenter film.
Horror series.
I know this one.
Villain in Halloween.
I see you, Amanda.
Also the name of a comedian.
In my head.
Bizarrely.
Could you please Google this quickly? Quickly in the background. Halloween.
Can you roll over?
Michael?
Yep.
Fair
Well
enough.
done, Amanda. Well done, girls.
Michael?
Plainly looking off screen at someone.
We're back on the
Michael.
Traitors.
Michael Myers. It's just come to me now. Michael Myers.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. There was
Sorry.
absolutely
Long
no
day work.
Googling. I
I
mean,
don't even know if cheating was involved, but I want to give her it because it's like it's making
I mean, it's a trick.
We got to remember we've had like the best training in this ever.
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. Yeah,
Well
we'll
done,
Sorry, I just listen now, lads. You know you don't know what it's like to be menopausal with a menopausal brain. Okay, you've got to give me that one because it just goes all like jellyfish sometimes with Michael Myers. It came to me in a flash then.
well done.
Yeah.
you can have that one. We'll give that you one. Okay, Kieran, last one then. Die Hard. Who's the villain?
Wait, which one? The first one?
Yeah, there's a
The
few.
original. Yeah.
Hans Gruber.
Correct.
Come on!
Wow. What is going on,
Right.
Stu?
I'm shocked. That has got to be the most correct answer we've ever had on any of these games.
After 5 questions, we're at a tie. 3 answers each. What do we do about that, Stu?
1 minute, darling.
I think, for once, we actually need the tiebreaker. The only time. I write one every single week, and we do it for...
Yeah. You're like, you've beaten Glenn, but here's the tiebreaker anyway.
So the tiebreaker is going to be a little bit more tough. This is going to be nearest to the closest answer, because it would be... I couldn't just give you a simple question for the tiebreaker. So, in US dollars, how much did the villain background story Maleficent make at the box office? Now, you can both give me an answer, and it's going to be whoever gets it closest.
Is it millions or billions, first of all?
Millions. It is millions. It's US dollar millions.
$550 million.
$6.4 million.
How much?
6.4.
We got
I think we have a very clear winner there.
6.4.
I think Kieran's won this one. The real answer is 758.5.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
So Amanda, you were off by about 700.
When it's that amount of money, you kind of forget.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll do you a deal. Give Amanda the gold one. I'll have the silver one because she's the queen. I don't mind. Swap them over. We've had fun. Do you want the gold one, queen?
The reality is that lovely gesture. We will give you both a gold badge. Both a silver one too.
Thank you.
There's no losers on this show.
Thank you.
You just get bragging rights, really.
That's fine. Thank you very much.
You know me, guys.
Well done.
I give gifts to people. Some are nice.
You do. Yeah. I don't
Maybe
get from him.
no, you don't know what's going to be on it. Maybe we should make an extra badge for Kieran so he can just give it to someone.
So let's move on to some wonderful fan questions. I've got the first one from Gemma, who asks, Amanda, if you were to appear on another reality show, which one would you choose and why?
I'd like to appear on a reality TV show where the public vote you out, because I think it'd be a different concept to be in. And I'd like Big Brother, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to go on Big Brother. Yeah. You're probably the same, Kieran. It was the same sort of...
They said when I considered doing it, I was like, yeah, because I know there's drama in there, but I haven't got to worry about people trying to kill me twice a day. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit safer.
And they'll probably give us a bit more alcohol as well this time, so we should go into together and get pissed.
We should. Yeah, Big Brother.
My friend, the wonderful Paul Watson from Nerdy Up North, the other podcast that you can catch me on, he's asked, this one's for Kieran actually, how did it feel to drop that bomb in the season final, and to drop Wilf in it? There must have been some great satisfaction there after he stabbed you in the back.
Yeah. 100%. So I want to beat around the bush. I won't go on it. My journey comes so far. I was fuming because it was over for me and there's not much I could really do about it. But I hoped he'd kept his end of the bargain, but we all know Will being Will. And I don't blame, like I say, we've spoken multiple times after. But to say I did not enjoy it, absolutely, I thrived on a delivery. It felt pretty good when I was doing it and I felt it could potentially have an impact on the game. Hannah was the biggest struggle. Aaron might have got it, but saying it, when you just know, thinking, but I was reading people's reactions around the table and you see when it's going around, I actually smile because I think, right, I might have actually pulled this off, but the rest was down to them. I had no idea how the people would perceive it, jumping off sofas at home and literally screaming at the TV and all sorts of scenarios. And yeah, so I did have a bit of remorse for probably about a minute, and then I enjoyed it. But yeah, I think it was a fitting end to an amazing show, and Aaron and his mum, I enjoyed. Yeah, it was. I mean, when I don't live life like that, and obviously revenge or whatever you want to call it, or payback. It was just a perfectly timed set of words for the maximum effect, and depending who you ask, they loved or they hated it.
Yeah. I think Kieran sort of showed a lesson as well, that there was a game plan with Wilf, and you know, we've all spoken about things, there's no hard feelings, he had a game plan and he stuck to it. But I think going through life, you have to show loyalty somewhere along the line. Do you know what I mean? You can't keep doing that, and I know that was his game, but I think Kieran has shown people a good lesson as well, that it doesn't always work out in someone's favour to just throw everybody under the bus and just be totally for yourself as well. You have to have an alliance and show your work colleagues, your family, you have to, you know, people in life generally, you have to be supportive and show loyalty. So I think what he done was a far bigger thing than just, you know, throwing Wilf under the bus. You can't just get away with things like that all the time.
It's people, I think, when you watch it, when I've seen, I watched it back on the live, but I've not sat there and I've watched it. I can't bring myself to watch it yet. But I remember, like, I see when it was a live episode and like how the whole game shifted in milliseconds and it just spiraled. So, yeah, I did enjoy it. I'm not going to lie. I did feel guilty. And all joking aside, I didn't want to take money away from anyone. But like I say, if someone's going to stab me in the back, I'm certainly going to repay them the favour, that's for sure.
Yeah. And like Amanda said, it is a game at the end of the day. That's...
Yeah. And it gave good viewing. I know it depends who you ask, but yeah, that it was only going one way, and then to flip on its head in the last minute, it gave everyone, like, we're all talking about it. So as long as...
TV gold, wasn't it? You know, the best script writers couldn't have written that. I thought it was fantastic. Not for personal reasons, obviously. I just thought it was good.
It was. I mean, and you say, you know, not taking money away from people, but one way or another, someone was going to get the money. So, you know, fair enough, one person didn't get it, but it did go to other people. Yeah. Which was basically, essentially, something you helped do. So, and it was TV gold. Come on, let's be honest. You talk about people jumping up and screaming at it. I did. And so, you know, it was a great moment.
I actually had Rylan Clark message me saying that was, your eyes will go down in reality TV history. And I went, it's nearly as good as yours. He went, nearly. So we had a time. I had Sheridan Smith messaged me as well and said that was like one of the best things. I've had a lot of love, and a lot of people wanted that. Hoped that twist had come. So yeah, it was. I wouldn't change a single thing. The
single moment of the whole show that anyone would really want to change, it was, you know, the things that happened. Yes, people had their favourites. They wanted them to go longer. Yeah. But it just lined up so perfectly. And you don't get that from the first season of a show. No. I've actually got a question for you now, Kieran, from Chris. He wants to know, you've obviously put it out there that you'd like to play a Mitchell brother quite often. But how would you feel about flipping that script and going from, you know, one of the East End boys to being a pantomime villain or a dame? I've been asked quite a few different things about what I could do. I've just come across as an absolute villain in the show, unfortunately, because of the mentality I went through. But I've actually got a really good sense of humour, and I like to have a laugh and enjoy myself. And I've got a bit softer in my old age. I would relish the opportunity to do anything like that. Yeah, I mean, the EastEnders thing is, you know, it's been bolting around for ages, and I don't know if to take that as a compliment or not, but I would absolutely do. I even contemplated dressing up as drag, I think, this year as well as a one-off, because I like RuPaul, so I think I'd like to see how I look. I mean, there's DragCon next year. 100% get Velvet on the job. So I've got a good sense of humour. I think I'll try anything, and as long as I enjoy myself. So I'm open. Pantomime villain, yeah, whatever. I mean, if there's an opportunity and you can make someone smile or give them an entertainment or just do something, then I would relish the opportunity. So all is within reason. Also, I love the idea of there just being another Mitchell brother that just appears out of nowhere. It's like, oh, we forgot. It's like, you know, when they get a series and they just, ratings are lagging. Let's just throw a random character in there, like, it's there's always a long lost child, isn't there? So you can be the long lost child, Kieran, in your head. With some kind of deep dark secret, obviously. Yeah. So do either of you have any upcoming appearances or projects that you want to promote? Ladies first. Man has got probably yeah, I've got quite a few lives. I'm in London the weekend in Brewers Tour, and I'm on Hack Attack in the morning. Don't know if you've heard of Hack Attack. I haven't heard of Hack Attack, but I quite like it. It's either, I'm assuming it's a crafts thing, but it could also be hacking the internet. Is it also? It's it's like on YouTube, and it's celebrities talking. And if you get the question wrong, which, as you can see now, I'm not the brightest and the most intelligent, they hack into your phone and do something, show you some embarrassing. Yeah. So that's amazing. So I hope my phone's okay. Because I'm not the brightest
I'm not going to get all the questions right, but that's going to be fun. So, so I'm doing that. But then I think me and Kieran have got some things coming up as well that are in the pipeline. We've got lots coming up. So, haven't we, Kieran? So, yeah.
We're looking, I'd like to do, my brother goes to Brighton Pride every year, so I'd like to go down there. I'd like to do, we're at Manchester on the 10th. That's going to be a nice red carpet, and we can actually drink and have ourselves. Yeah. Not really like a promoting thing, it's just a night where we can just enjoy ourselves and have fun. Yeah. And I've got a couple other things I'm working in the background with the BBC about a couple of other potential things coming up. So just sort of, nothing intimate. I want to get out some more meets and greets and see people and stuff like that. That's nice.
We're catching up the end of the week, and so there's some meet and greets and venues and some Pride appearances going to be confirmed. So we'll be out there saying hello to everybody.
Is there anything else coming that you guys know about as well that you're looking forward to?
Oh, I think
caught you there with a swerve.
Well,
we asked the questions here. you've turned it around on us.
Are you trying to get a hosting job, Kieran? Because it's not too late to replace Glenn. It's only one.
Wow. I passed my probation, thank you.
He's passed his probation. We've got business cards with him on now, and they're expensive.
We will be covering a UK Drag Idol Heats in Newcastle.
Nice.
In April, every Sunday of April, so we're looking forward to that.
I know a couple. When I went to Ibiza last year, I bumped into Scarlett Moffat up there, and I was partying with her. And there's a couple of drag queens I met, Liam and Luke, Emma Royd and Cara O'Hara. They're from Newcastle around there, so I met them. So I might call them and come up for something like that. So I had the best time with them, partying with them guys.
It's a bit weird actually, because like what's coming up is you'll probably laugh at this, where we have two competitions happening within 2 months of each other that are called the same thing. So I will be covering, with my series Snatch Talk, we will be covering Drag Idol, which is Newcastle's famous drag competition, which brought us Theresa May, who you might have met at DragCon. And then a couple of weeks later, we have Drag Idol UK, which is a totally different competition that involves loads of heats around the UK. So I'm technically going to be covering both of them. So I don't know if I have to use a different accent or something for each of them, or
you might have to.
Hello.
No, don't.
All right,
please,
Geezer, it's Drag Idol UK.
Don't change your accent. It's the Bridgerton sort of talk. I like it.
Well, how about I do a Bridget Jones for like one of them,
Jones.
and Bridget for the other?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
I do know there was a venue in Newcastle that were very interested to know how your murder mystery night works, Amanda.
I done one in Social Dice in Swansea, and they done Blood on the Clock Tower, and it's sort of very similar, but it's quite intelligent. So I was a bit up to my depth. So I did say that because it's like it's all the village people, and then you get your certain characters, which are, the villain and this and that. But I caught the villain twice. I was in 2 groups. And I caught the villain twice. Yeah, I did.
Amazing. We just did one at New Year, and the thing no one tells you about murder mystery nights is that you tend to get drunk over the course of them, and then you're meant to be correlating all this information, and they're giving you all these clues and stuff, and I'm just like, I am mortal. I'm not taking in like any of this. So by the end, you're just pointing fingers randomly.
I remember doing one years ago, and we done a murder mystery in my house, and there was about 12 of us. And I was actually, I think I was the murderer then, or I was murdered. I was so plastered. I didn't know, and in the end, they were all going to me, but it's you. And I said, was it me?
See?
Yes,
it was good practice for the traitors. You just,
That's why we were only allowed one drink in traitors. That's why, because otherwise we would have all just,
I did a Zoom one in lockdown there. That was where you bought it online. It was ran by Ginger Minge. So, you got all the videos and all your scripts and stuff, and then you just had to read it out. But by the end of it, we're just like, so what's happening?
Who's what? Has anyone murdered anybody? Yeah.
When I got home from RuPaul's, I've got to say something. Someone slipped something into my bag that I was working on. My wife found this, and I had to explain what it
was. Is that Tony the doll?
No, it's Sophia Love. She was on the stand with me, and I put some of my photos that I'd left, and she must have slipped it in my bag, and then I found it, and my wife found it. She goes, "You got something to sell me?" I was like,
"I might do."
Maybe.
I'm going into the bag next year. So.
Oh.
No, next year, go and do the same to her. Just slip like a slip
Good
on the
idea.
back.
Love it.
I think we've already, you said you were up for doing drag, so DragCon 24, we're putting you in drag, I think.
I'm my wife, I'm well game to do it. I think my brothers, I'd love to see what I look like. I would relish the opportunity, so I'll shave my grey beard off. At least I'll get rid of my grey hair.
No, keep it on. Velvet keeps the beard on.
Yeah,
Your bearded queen.
There's no rules to drag, remember.
good. I wanted to try the makeup though, see what I can do with the eye makeup and go full.
Their makeup is flawless, isn't it? Oh, it's beautiful.
She was up at. I said, well, how long did it take? She was up at like 5:30 in the morning, I think. So she's like 5.5 hours. I was like, Jesus Christ, that is hardcore. Fair play.
Well, but this is the thing, though. It's the fact of, obviously, for me to get into drag at DragCon, I was up at like 6 a.m. every day in order to sort of get into makeup to be at the press thing for like sort of 10 to 9 or something. But obviously, because me and Glenn were sharing a room and I'm a noisy bitch, so was Glenn. Glenn was up at 6 o'clock every morning. But
Glenn, I feel for you. I know the feeling.
Girl. Well, Amanda and Kieran, thank you so much for being guests on the podcast. It's been absolutely wonderful speaking to you.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, thank you for the invite. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we all bump into each other when we can drink next time, so we can have a proper.
when you can drink without needing to surreptitiously do it.
Kieran speaks for both of us. Thank you so much for inviting us on, and hopefully we will meet again very shortly in some event or venue, and get very drunk.
Brilliant. As I mentioned earlier, I will be covering Newcastle Drag Idol, with my series Snatch Talk that will be available on YouTube once again. So I will be interviewing all of the contestants when they come off stage and giving my own opinion on a lot of stuff. So we're trying to see what we can work out for that this year. Glenn, do you have anything that you'd like to promote?
Yes, my wonderful flock, the Newcastle Ravens, the only LGBTQ plus inclusive rugby club in the Northeast, are hosting their Hadrian Cup on the weekend of the 17th of March. Main tournament's on the Saturday. If you're a potential sponsor or a volunteer who would like to come and help out in the LGBT tournament that attracts 700 people across the country, then please get in touch with the Newcastle Ravens. We do rugby union and touch rugby.
And that's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's a St. Patrick's weekend.
Get yourself down there, whoever's listening.
We're both. I'm half Irish, and Amanda's from Irish in her as well. So we both got the connection.
Both half Irish.
Between you, you're a full
Irish.
Yeah, that's why we like a bit of fun.
Yeah,
and a few drinks.
And a few drinks.
I don't have anything major to promote. Just TikTok. We have joined TikTok, and that's new to me. So go follow that. Give us some love on TikTok
and YouTube.
Thank you, dear listener, for tuning in. See you later. Right, how are we going to say goodbye this week? Is there anything we want to do?
Would you like a parting gift?
Right, okay. Well, what we'll do, count of 3, we'll just all say bye, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
See you all next time. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.